I'm going to look at the role of CSS, that's Cascading Style Sheets, in the format of web pages. So CSS allows us to modify how our pages look. So for example, we can change the size of font, the color of font, what the font is, all of those things to our text. And we can do all sorts of other changes like changing the background colors and doing all sorts of things using CSS to make our website look a lot nicer. Now we're going to start by creating a CSS script that's going to apply to this simple example we have here of just printing out Wales, Ireland and Scotland. So it's going to modify those elements there. When we insert a style sheet into our HTML file, we put that in the head of the page, and we have an opening style tag and a closing style tag. So now all our CSS code goes in between those two tags. Now the central component of CSS are things called selectors, and we're going to now create some basic selectors here that are going to be applied to the elements that we have here. So the first selector we're going to do is going to apply to the paragraph tag here, and we're going to change the font. So the font family there goes to Arial. So that'll be the font. We're going to also change the position of it. Line text. This will be, and making sure that we're using American spelling, not British spelling for these terms. The center American spelling there, and same with color as well. And then we close off our curly brackets there. So what we're saying is, to where we have a P as our tag, we're going to apply these properties to that. So let's save that and refresh our corresponding page here, and you can see that's what's happened there. So to Ireland here, which is within our P tags there, you can see all this has been applied. So it's changed the font to Arial, it's changed the alignment to center, and changed the color of that. We can also apply it to the other elements as well. So we'll apply it to both H1 and H2, a new set of properties there. Open brackets there, close bracket there. So those are the curly brackets. And then again, we can put our properties in here. So what I'll do is I'll copy these ones down here and then just modify them slightly. So I'm happy with Arial, text align, I'll keep a center, but I'll just change the color here to green. So now for both H1 and H2 tags, these properties will be applied to anything that's within those tags. Let's now save that and refresh that, and you can see that that's been applied successfully. So those types of elements we've just presented are element selectors. Another type of selectors are class selectors. Let's have a look at how they work. What we will do is we will modify what we already have here. So we're going to change this paragraph one here, P, to a class selector, and we're going to call it red. So anything that's now going to be corresponding to this class here is going to be red, but also has to be paragraph as well. So that's what we've modified there. We also have to modify the P tag at the bottom here, where we have to specify that the class now is going to be red. So we have that set up there. We can also, if we wish to, modify others without specifying the element type. So we could, for example, have green here for this, and we can apply it to any of the elements now, not just, well, in this case we can only apply it to the paragraph one, but this now, because it doesn't identify the type of element, we can apply it to any element. So let's now do that as well. So class, that's going to be green, and class H2 is also going to be green. So again, when we refresh our page, which we'll do now, nothing in principle should change, and it doesn't. Just to modify something slightly here, so I'm going to change that to blue just to show that there is a change there when that happens. So change green, everywhere is green, I'm just going to change to blue. And you can see that's modified that. So that's another way of applying selectors. Those are called class selectors. The third type of selector I want to look at is the ID selector, and what this does, it applies the properties to a unique element. Let's have a look at how we do this. We'll modify what we already have there. So an ID selector starts off with a hashtag, so we'll just modify that, and then we have to specify the ID of our elements. ID here, that's blue, and that's going to be red, but we'll also, IDs have to be unique, so we can't specify the same ID, so we'll just remove the ID from the H2 element there. If we now save that and refresh this, you can see that has modified our code in the way that we expected there. We can change this again to green so that you can just see more changes. Green, I'll change this up to red and save that and refresh that. So that's the ID selector.